Hey, yo, what's the deal, my people? You know this is Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you, another one, and this one is Black Widow, the movie review. You know, a lot of people have waited a long time for this Black Widow movie. It's been years. This thing was supposed to come out. COVID hit, everything else like this. This was supposed to set up the next phase of Marvel. I told y'all, I made a video a long time ago, and it said that this phase would not work, that this phase would actually fail when it came down to Marvel, right? So I'm here. Now I was going to sit here and I was going to go upstairs and I was going to make a regular video that I do and put these pictures up there and do all these things like that. And I said, you know what? I ain't got fucking time to do that today. I'm not going to do that. I would like to let you know, right off the bat, that when I give you a review for a movie, that it's a 100% real deal review. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I am not a fanboy. I love Marvel. You see, I love it. I played the role-playing game, Marvel role-playing game, when I was a child for years. So I respect the source material. I respect the characters. And I expect the TV shows and the movies to do the exact same thing. Now, I know some of y'all may be sitting here and you may watching. You may say, "Oh, Tony Teflon, how do you feel about these reviews, about these movies?" And I'm going to tell you straight up about this shit, all right? And I'm not trying to diss anybody, and I don't want anyone to take it this way. But I'm not New Rock Stars. I'm not Heavy Spoilers. I'm not Grace Randolph. I'm not any of these people who get free access to these movies before they come out. Hence, they are not truly able to say maybe what they truly want to say because this is what it is. This is the game you play, right? Now, I'm not one of these motherfuckers. I don't get that. So what I say, and I'm telling you from the truth. And I'm telling you these things from the perspective of someone who actually knows about Marvel, read all these comic books, and knows all of it. Not someone who Googles something up when something becomes hot and then finds out about it at that particular time and then puts it out there in the video and acts like they figured something out. Now, I'm not one of these motherfucking guys who's done that. You know what I mean? I'm a fucking real deal like this, all right? So I'm going to go through. I ain't got no script or anything, but I put a couple of talking points down here that I'm going to talk about real quick while I get into this movie and everything else like this. All right. First off, about the character Black Widow herself and the movie itself. They did this woman, Scarlett Johansson, fucking wrong. All right. This should have came out years ago. But yet they pushed it all the way back to after she died and say, hey, you died. We're going to give you a prequel movie. All right. We're going to send you off like that. When she put in a lot of the work for this Marvel Cinematic Universe to become good, that shit should have came out after. She should have had this movie after Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3. She should have been had this movie. But the actual character of Black Widow right here in this show, this is a chick who has no superpowers. This is a chick who has no super soldier serum in her body. But this goddamn chick is taking a beating in this movie, a beating to the point where she should be dead. There ain't no way no average human being can survive the shit she survived. Not these fucking car explosions. I've seen people get crashing cars and no flippy flip, no barrel roll, and pass away. This chick is, I don't know what the hell type of seatbelts they got. What seatbelts they got in this motherfucker? And I ain't never seen her put one on when she got in the car. I never see her put on a seatbelt. You never see that shit. This chick done fell out of 10-story buildings and grabbing ledges with a fucking arm, one arm. That's impossible. She would have pulled her shoulder out of joint just like that. There's no way around that. So when I look at situations like unrealistic shit like that, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's hard for me to follow or keep up with the story. And all of these last final shot scenes with her going down and come flying through the motherfucking air, looking like motherfucking like 007 when he was fighting fucking Jaws flying out the plane. You know, that's the way they did it with Taskmaster. That's the scene where it's taken from. If y'all don't know, I took that shit from 007 when he was fighting out with Jaws and shit. All right, go watch that if you ain't watched it. But that's what that was based upon. You see it doing all this stuff. It's just not reasonable that she could do these things as a normal human being. She should have got a movie like Atomic Blonde. That should have been her fucking movie. She deserved a movie like that, but they didn't give it to her. They gave her this instead. And I think that they did her dirty by doing so. I did not appreciate the way that they did it. And listen, I know there's going to be a lot of y'all fanboys out there and all you people who just think that Marvel does nothing but shit gold. Yeah, there's other places for y'all to go and feed your ego and feed your fantasy that everything they do is great when it's not. Because I'm not one of those people. See, this is the problem with Marvel that I've seen, that they've made so much money and each movie is going to make so much money that they're not putting an effort into making quality movies anymore. They're just putting shit out there and it's like, and people are just eating it up no matter what. And that's the problem with it. And that's the issue. I want them to put out stuff that the way it's supposed to be, the way I see it in the comic books. And if you got to change a couple of things because of this, fine. But let's make this shit a good actual movie with a good actual fucking plot. And that comes to the plot of this goddamn movie. What the hell was the plot of this movie? That she has to shut down the Red Room that she already thought that she shut down. So by doing so, she had to go find a family that truly wasn't her family. And she was raised with these Russian spies. And then they escaped from being Russian spies and then taken apart and separated. And she has to go back and relive that. That's the plot of this movie? That plot sucks. That's a terrible plot for a movie. And all these other black widows that they had in here, these black widows and these Asian black widows. And I know you want to have people different, and that's fine. But the way that they have this mist, that they put the mist in the air and all of a sudden they're free, was stupid. It was dumb. The whole situation with, this final boss. And this final boss, and that also brings me to like the male characters in this movie, they were all dumbed down or stupid. And it seems that not just Marvel, but Marvel especially, and that's what I'm talking about here, but Hollywood does do it, that when they have a female lead, they have to dumb down or make the men look like fools or clowns. When they have a female, like a man can't just be a solid person. He's got to be this was the most mustache twirling villain that I've seen in a goddamn long time. This guy with this goddamn, I have a pheromone inside my body so no one can attack me if you smell me. Fuck you. The fuck thought of that shit? That's pretty obvious how to defeat. If you knew that was the case, why ain't you go in there and then what do? You break your nose so you can't smell the motherfucker. Whoa. I mean, what the fuck was that? You could have went in there with a broken nose. You didn't have to have this guy punch you in the face and try to break your nose. You already knew this was the case. They set this up and told you that this is what it was. But yet you go in there and say, well, let me test it to see if it really is true. And if it is true, then I'll make him punch me in the face until he breaks my nose and I can't smell his ass anymore. Should have went in there with that plan to begin with. Already. And when you look at everyone in there, the Red Guardian, this is a guy who was really a love interest, but now all of a sudden he's a father, some type of father figure, some fat, out of shape guy. This guy, it was terrible the way this dude's. He's a clown. He's a clown. He's just, and why was he a clown? Was he in jail for too long, and that just made him a stupid motherfucker? for being in jail all that time? Is that what happened? Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. I just know that the character sucked. The portrayal of the character wasn't good. The way he's portrayed from the comic books to this is not the same. It's not even close. So when people look at this and everything, and they're telling me, "Oh, this Black Widow movie, we've been waiting for." Were you waiting for what? If this is what they have to offer for this phase, then I'm trying to tell you what I told you earlier in my other video, that this phase is going to suck, is the truth. This is what happens when you wait too long to do things. Again, what this movie should have been was an Atomic Blonde type movie, right? This should have been a real spy movie. There's no goddamn spy movie. This is terrible. And everyone saw Elizabeth Pugh. Elizabeth Pugh was good. She was all right. But just because the movie wasn't that good, it truly wasn't hard for her to be good, and everything else. It wasn't hard for her to be good, to look good in this thing. And all these jokes that they're telling and everything else, and the hair flip and the poses and everything. This is what happened. They had a little bit of funny movies in the Marvel thing, and it worked. So now they say, every movie we do has got to have some type of comedy in it. Not everybody is funny in the real world, right? There's not that many people who are funny in the mirror. That's why comedians get paid so much. But in Marvel movies, everyone's a fucking comedian. Everybody got jokes. And as for, let me say this too, about Easter eggs. Fuck your Easter eggs. I'm sick of See, this is what happens. They give you these Easter eggs. I know there's a lot of people out there who are on YouTube and they'll make Easter egg videos. And they'll be quick to point out all the Easter eggs. Oh, look at that. Did you see that right there? That's because it's a motherfucker, fuck you. And your fucking Easter eggs. All right? Easter eggs ain't shit. Easter eggs, when people on YouTube do them, it's just a way to make a video so that they can make money and push that shit out there. And that's just the bottom line. And that's why they do it. So now Marvel goes, if these are people are going here and making videos about it and getting the buzz, let's put some meaningless Easter eggs in there. Listen, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck about that shit. All right? You can't put a motherfucking frog in a jar, right? Like they did in the Loki series, and expect my dick to get hard. That don't excite me. All right? Make a good fucking movie. And that's what they do. They put these Easter eggs in there, and then people go out there searching for these shits. And then you're not paying attention to how shitty the actual movie is. Instead of taking the time to put motherfucking Easter eggs in it, I don't give a fuck about the head of this shit down there. Why don't you fucking tell me what the fuck the movies, make a good script so I'm into the movie? You don't need to put Indiana Jones' whip on the motherfucking floor. Like when you see good movies and stuff like that, Star Wars, anything else that's there, there ain't no Easter eggs in that shit. It's a good movie. You don't need it. But what they do is they put these things in there to distract you from the shitty job they are putting out shit scripts that don't have anything to do with the goddamn movie. As for this motherfucking Taskmaster, this was not fucking Taskmaster. If anyone read a fucking comic book, you realize that this was not fucking Taskmaster. I don't know who the fuck this was. And I'm going to tell you, it was pretty obvious. I mean, you got to start trying to be deceptive with shit. It was pretty obvious the identity of Taskmaster as soon as you heard that she blew up the daughter and blew this guy up, but this guy survived. It was pretty fucking obvious who the fuck this Taskmaster was. And they're going to gender swap Taskmaster and make Taskmaster a woman. Why? Because you had a woman lead in it. So because you had a woman lead, you felt that, hey, we need a woman enemy for her to fight. So we're going to turn Taskmaster into a woman so she could fight him. Why can't she just fight Taskmaster and the man? Why did it have to be the woman? I understand as they're saying, you always sit here and say, we wanted to tie it in to this guy. No, why not just let her take that motherfucking L that she killed this little girl and she has to deal with that shit? Let her deal with that. Not that, she survived And now all of a sudden she's gonna try to redeem herself and everything else. I'm sorry that I did this. Listen, this is what you were back then. If you were an assassin, and that's what they're trying to set up, she shouldn't have to feel guilty. This is the job. This is what you do. That girl was collateral damage. Let her deal with that. Not make this chick come back and make Taskmaster a woman. This person had nothing to do with any Taskmaster that I've ever seen. Taskmaster is one of the greatest villains in Marvel comic books. Great villain. And this person did nothing. You think that because you can go like this, that I'm supposed to get excited? You think that's supposed to excite me? Because you did some Black Panther-ass claws? You gotta do better than that. You gotta do better than that. The motherfucker didn't wear put the hood on for like 2 seconds. So when I'm looking at all these things, I have to say that this movie, and I hate to say it, because I like Scarlett Johansson, and she deserved fucking better. But this movie was trash. The movie's trash. Period. And I hate to say it. I was watching this movie, and I paid for it on Disney Plus, and I literally was like, should I just fast forward this motherfucker? Should I really just sit here and fast forward this towards the end? Because that's how boring it got. I don't need to see these people sitting down talking about eating dinner and shit like this and motherfucking running experiments on motherfucking pigs. Do you think that really kept me engrossed in the movies? And these Black Widows were supposed to be so deadly, but Scarlett Johansson can kick the shit out of like 6 of them at one time. But yet these are the deadly assassin training. How the hell is she able to whoop all their asses like that if they so deadly? Is she just a super one? Is she just the one who took to the training the best out of all of them? All of a sudden? What makes her so special? It just doesn't work on all these levels. And that is the problem with Marvel. That is the problem I see going forth. And you're going to get the same problems with Shang-Chi. You're going to get the same problems with the Eternals. That the actual scripts of these movies, when it first started off, the first Iron Man movie was great. It was golden. Great job. First Avengers movie was good. Infinity War was good. Endgame, not so much. Not so much. Because it started coming to them. They started saying anything we put out is a motherfucking $1 million. $1 billion. They knew that at this particular time, when they put out Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel is not a good movie, and they made $1 billion on that, they said, don't matter what we put out here. It don't matter what the fuck we put out. These people will go out there and buy anything. When Captain Marvel made $1 billion, it doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter. We could put anything out here and we could make $1 billion. These people, we got them hooked. These crackheads out here are pumping this Marvel crack in their veins. And that's just the bottom line. They smoking this shit the fuck up. And that's the bottom line. And I know there's a lot of people who, if they actually took the time to watch this review, all these Marvel people who love it, they're gonna thumbs down this video. They're gonna say all this stuff. Let them. I don't give a fuck. You can say whatever you want about it, and I don't care. Because I know that what I am. I'm a true Marvel fan. I want what's best for them. I want them to do better. All right? I want them to do better. I want them to do like they used to do. I don't want them just resting on their fucking laurels. I don't want them doing that at all. You know, and Kevin Feige came out and they have this thing that he said this thing straight up like, oh, we're not signing actors to multi-contract years anymore because we want people who are excited to be in here. Why these actors want to be in here? I'm going to tell you why. Because they want $1 billion movie on their fucking resume. They want to say that they were in $1 billion movie. That's the only reason why they want to be in these movies. Oh, $1 billion movie. I get in this and I get in this role right here. I'm getting $1 billion. It's going to set me off. Look what it did for these other people's career. That's why they want to be in it. And now you're only going to be signing people for one picture deals. How the fuck is that going to work? So you're going to have somebody in one movie and then all of a sudden you can't negotiate the next contract? So now you got to recast this motherfucker from movie to movie or cut him out? How does that work? Marvel's going down a slippery fucking slope right now. And Black Widow should be the proof of this. If this movie came out in the movie theaters and there was no pandemic, of course it's going to do $1 billion. But just because you do $1 billion doesn't mean your movie's good. Doesn't mean it's a great movie. The special effects was terrible. I can tell it was a special effect in the last scene with her every time. I've seen better special effects on the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man video game. Look more realistic than Black Widow at the last game. And they've had years to perfect that shit. And that's all they can come up with. They had so much shrapnel flying down. It reminded me of them doing parachutes out there with all this shrapnel. None of it hits them. Not one piece. It reminded me of a G.I. Joe cartoon from the 80s. Because that's what they would do. They parachute out, and then all these bullets would be flying in the air, but none of them miraculously hit them. And they going slow as fuck down this thing. So when I look at this whole situation, when I see this whole situation, I just do not see exactly why anybody would like this. To me, it was trash. It was garbage. Am I mad I spent the money? No, I'm not mad because I have to see it for myself or I won't believe it. And that's just the way it is. But for Taskmaster and the rest of these characters in there, especially Taskmaster, that's one of the worst adaptations of a superhero villain that I've ever seen in my life. You gonna make Dr. Doom a woman? Because if are you gonna do that? Would you change Dr. Doom to a woman? It don't work. All right, that don't work. It don't work here. Do it. Let's see what you're gonna do. And it makes no sense for people to do it. Now, as I said before, I'm sure there will be a bunch of people, if they do watch it, you can thumbs down the audio, and you can take your thumbs down and you can stick it up your ass. All right, for anyone who wants to thumb down this video. All right, you can go to bed in your Spider-Man fucking underoos, and you can sit there and have a shrine to Kevin Feige and say that he can't do no goddamn wrong. And you can kiss these guys' asses all you want, and you can let them keep putting out shitty content for you. But I'm not that dude. I want them to put out great content, period. And it seems like everyone's so quick to jump on DC and say how bad DC does, but when it comes to Marvel, no one wants to talk shit about Marvel. Everybody wants to think everything they do is great. And that ain't the fucking case. Not right now. And that's just the bottom line. And that's the way I feel about it. That is my real Black Widow review. I just say thank you for anybody who came here and watched this and everything. Ella Mar's in the building. Edward Martin's in the building. My man Mandrell's up in here. Muhammad's up in here. One Journey is in here. He asked the question, why change the gender? It changed the gender. It did it because I guess they figured, oh, we have a female lead. We have to have her fight another female. Which is stupid. This is dumb. Just stupid. And they act like it was some big reveal when they took off the goddamn mask. Like, ain't nobody know that who the fuck was under that mask. Please. Come on, man. This is a streaming movie 100%. And they did Scarlett Johansson like shit. She deserved so much better. She deserved a real movie. She deserved a movie like Atomic Blonde, Salt. She deserved a movie like that. Not no bullshit movie that she got. All right, to everybody. Thank y'all for rocking with me and everything. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and also subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace.